This is the story of Edwina Brown, a 36-year-old wife who was shot by her beloved husband, Danny Maurice Brown, age 37, in their home.
He should be considered armed and highly dangerous.
This is your man.
Yes.
It was not the best of relationships, so she decided to break up with him for someone else. Edwina then started to date Daniel Hill. She loved him and they were very happy. But unknown to her, Danny was jealous of her new relationship.
And highly dangerous.
Danny had hired some men to kill Edwina 11 years prior along with her then boyfriend, but fortunately for her, she survived, but her boyfriend did not. Danny's only other instruction was not to hurt their kids, which they have together.
This is your man.
Yes.
This is where the case gets twisted. Just 2 weeks after she got hit but survived, just 2 weeks after her boyfriend Daniel died at the hands of Danny, she went ahead to marry Danny Brown.
Do better. Okay, bye.
Welcome to the channel. It's your host NGE, and we back with another crazy video. And in this crazy video, we got a crazy woman named Edwina Brown, whose middle name was out of line because her ass was out of line, for marrying her ex 2 weeks after he done hired 2 ninjas to blickadoo her and her then boyfriend. Now I know what y'all saying. NGE, 2 weeks? Come on, bruh. Look, that's what the family is saying, that's what the reports are saying.
That was a shocker to friends and family members. It was not really making sense why anyone will marry someone who just put out a hit on them.
Regardless, this level 99 Jezebel is crazy, if not more crazy than the man that tried to have her ass deleted. Let's start there. I've said this plenty of times and I'll say it for as long as I'm making these videos. When a Western modern woman says I love you, that's akin to a scammer saying you can trust me. Imagine being in a relationship with someone, their ex gets you and her ass clapped, you die, she survives. Now imagine going to heaven thinking she all sad and crying every day, and then you look down to see that she's still getting her ass clapped by the man responsible. And she lived her best life, loyal and loving to that man for 10 years straight.
Danny and Edwina put Daniel behind them and lived together for over 10 years before Danny would strike again.
Most people's relationships don't even last 10 months, let alone 10 years. Black Jezebels love they thugs to death, and I mean literally. Because despite giving him kids, and despite having loyalty slap the face of morality, and despite 10 whole years of her life, this Jezebel and Jezebels like her get rewarded by the thugs they love so much with either a hand upside their head or a bullet in their ass.
Edwina Martin and 22-year-old Daniel Hill were coming home to their apartment on Green Mountain Drive when things turned terribly violent. They were ambushed by 2 men in front of their apartment and were both shot. Edwina was shot in the shoulder and she survived the incident, but unfortunately Daniel was not so lucky. Police asked the public for help on the case and they got lucky. They ended up arresting a Little Rock man in connection with a shooting and murder. Quentin Bernard Jones was charged with first-degree murder and criminal attempt to commit murder in the first degree. The second shooter was also arrested. One of the attackers told police that Brown had put him up to the ambush a month earlier. They both implicated Danny in the shooting and they were both sent away to prison. A day before Danny's trial, a woman's refusal to cooperate with authorities led prosecutors to drop capital murder charges against him, so he was let off the hook and he never went to jail for the killing of Daniel. One of the attackers was sentenced to 55 years in prison and the other sent to life.
According to the law, American women get to choose the men that they have children with. By that fact alone, women's choices directly impact the population of her community. Black people make up 13% of the population, and that includes biracial people and barely black people like Kamala.
I'm out here in these streets.
And immigrants. The scariest truth about American black women is that if we didn't include the biracials and immigrants, we might only make up 5% of the population thanks to their choices. Black women choose death when they choose thugs.
What you talking about, Willis?
Remember last year that whole conversation about how black men don't protect black women?
I remember like it was yesterday.
It was yesterday.
Black women, you don't protect black women when you choose the thug. You don't protect your children or their futures when you choose the thug. You don't protect your community when you choose the thug, and you damn sure don't protect yourself when you choose the thug. The only way we can protect you is if we can control you. And if you think I'm wrong, then answer this. How would you stop your best friend that was hell-bent on playing a game of Russian roulette?
That's a good question.
Remember, I said they were hell-bent, so talking to them and trying to convince them is not gonna work. I give you a few seconds to think about it. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Doom, 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 doom. Once you figure out how to stop another grown adult from doing something stupid, you be sure to let us know. Maybe Edwina Adeline Brown should have chose the burr instead of a man a black woman raised. This is some hood crap, and the hood don't have fathers. If it had fathers, it wouldn't be the hood. What it does have is a collection of polyamorous black Jezebels that share the same handful of sperm donors.
On March 27th, over 10 years after the Daniel incident, the couple were involved in an argument which made Danny lose it once again, making him shoot and kill Edwina during the argument. He then fled the scene of the crime. Police identified Brown as the lead suspect after they found his wife shot to death in their home at 4704 Fairley Drive on the evening of March 27th. He was declared a very dangerous criminal on the loose.
He should be considered armed and highly dangerous.
On March 27th, around 4 in the afternoon, police say Danny Brown went to his estranged wife's house on Fairley Drive in Little Rock.
The information we have is that Danny Brown entered the house. I guess maybe an argument ensued. He allegedly shot his wife, and she later succumbed to those injuries at a nearby hospital.
It's been over a week since that happened, and police are looking to get Brown behind bars, including the U.S. Marshal's Office, who has been asked to help.
Well, of course, we want to do this as safely as possible. We don't want anyone to get hurt, including Danny Brown. Preferably, we'd rather Danny Brown just turn himself in, do the right thing.
Police have gotten close to arresting him, but they say he's made it clear he will not be taken in quietly.
This story is sick, sad, and sadistic. The only victims here are the children that will be left to grow up traumatized. The reason I don't consider Adeline, aka Edwina, a victim is because I believe she got her karmic justice. There's a part of me that wants to believe that Edwina was a backdoor queen.
What in God's name is that?
It's the type of woman that will pretend to love you and set you up to be whacked by the person she's secretly affiliated with. It's also a common tactic that gang members use to lure their rivals into a honey trap. I think that she was in on it and needed to take a shot in the shoulder to make it look more believable. Danny, the moron she was in love with, was deep in them streets, and he would flash big stacks of cash on camera. So it's not beyond the scope of belief that he would hire some shooters to set up a possible rival gang member. So why do I say that the other dude was a gang member? Well, I don't know that for sure, but what I do know for sure is Edwina loves thugs. And I just can't imagine a level 99 Jezebel tolerating a relationship with a dude that is not a thug. And the fact that she was able to move on with the dude responsible so quickly, it just makes it make sense. Even a full-blown psychopath would give the side eye to Edwina's ability to be so indifferent. And I'm not gonna play devil's advocate or entertain the idea that she was in fear or that this is a case of Stockholm Syndrome. No, she was a black Jezebel that was hell-bent on playing a game of Russian roulette. And you know what happens when you lose a game of Russian roulette. You take a fatal bullet.
This is your man.
Yeah.
Look at the screen.
That's mine. And
that's what you're going to settle for.
I'm going to stick beside him.
U.S. Marshals arrested Danny somewhere in Dallas. He was taken into custody, and we're expecting him to be extradited here in the next day or so, said Mark Edwards, a spokesman for the Little Rock Police Department.
Tonight at 6, a man Little Rock police called armed and dangerous is in custody after weeks on the run.
Danny Brown was arrested by U.S. Marshals at an apartment complex in Dallas, Texas. Brown is accused of going to his estranged wife's house on March 27th, where he shot and killed her. Marshals tracked Brown to a Dallas apartment over the weekend.
When they got there, Brown attempted to jump off the balcony, but then saw more officers and law enforcement on the ground. A short time later, he surrendered to police. He'll now be extradited back here to Arkansas.
Police charged Danny Maurice Brown with capital murder in connection to the March slaying of his wife, Edwina Brown.
Do better. Okay, bye.
But anyway, man, that's the video for today. And if you enjoyed the video, be sure to like the damn video. Be sure to click here to see why German Becky says modern black women ain't no real competition in America. Be sure to follow me on TikTok at NGEnevergoodenough, all one word. Or follow me on Instagram at NGE_nevergoodenough. Or if you want to do some business with me, then be sure to hit me up on my email at NGEnevergoodenough@gmail.com. And remember, become the change you want to see. It's your boy, NGE. Peace.